a nocturnal human being who practices at night, probably on a robbery, but during the day, does it on rather a mild note. That's exactly what we're talking about. But I mean, it continues to remain a mystery how to identify people. God wouldn't even create it that way. If not, the world will come to a standstill. But how are you able to tell who and who is not a criminal at your workplace or pickpockets?
Well, I think that's a very good question. You cannot straight away tell who is a criminal or who is not. But at least you must be able to be, you must be able to put in measures that will prevent prospective internal criminals from even undertaking any form of action. And one way by which you can actually get rid of such people is the fact that you put in stringent rules. You don't compromise on people who involve in petty things that are caught and all these things like that. It serves as a major deterrent to all the rest in the organizations. And one way that you can tell, people who normally involve in these things have funny lifestyles. Mm-hmm. Very, very funny.
Very respectful as well. That is a close observation.
Yes. And I think there was a friend of mine who keeps telling me if there is one person who works in your office and he appears to be the best out of the whole lot, then there is something to watch out for. Mm-hmm. They have some very funny lifestyles. They appears to be at times very perfect when everybody is around, and they are at times the last people to expect when there is a crime.
Right.
The last time I was sharing with you this story of this lady who was guarding the house of a CEO, and what she does is that she jumps through the window when nobody is at home. She goes and picks things from this man's room. And this man has been complaining things are getting missing. And it's like the gardener had a very suspicious lifestyle. And the man has always been hiring the gardener as the one doing such activities.
Because he's the man, when it was actually a female kleptomaniac.
It was a female. So what happened was that one day he just decided to fix a security camera in his kitchen. And he was surprised to see this lady guard who was supposed to be watching the place jumping through the window and coming in. So one way you can always detect these internal crimes is to actually have security measures in place that can help you apprehend such people. It's clear, like I also stated some time back, about more than 80% of people I've known and worked with who have security systems do not actually use them. Mm-hmm. It's like they have security camera, they have it, and nobody cares whether it's working, nobody cares whether it's not working. The only time they remember they have security camera is when there is a theft that they want to investigate. Mm-hmm. And they go and find out that, this thing has stopped recording 2 weeks ago, 3 months ago. So it's being vigilant, because there is no way you can tell. As I'm sitting here with you, if I have the possibility of stealing you, how will you know?
So are you trying to say, even if you're a thief, I can't tell as we're speaking?
Well, you can't tell.
I am not a thief, are you?
Well,
you're contemplating.
I don't want to answer that. You know why I don't want to answer that?
No.
Because you can't tell a thief from the face.
Okay, so
everybody steals one way or the other in a way.
I haven't stolen before, not even from my mom's purse. No way.
Well, somebody say, if you say you are not a thief, then you are trying to say that you've never cheated in an exam before.
No, I seriously, I hate to copy.
No, it's not like when you were in your childhood days.
I hated it.
Oh, well, I used to do it.
I wasn't doing my homework.
I wasn't doing my homework.
I want to believe my mates are watching now. I was very pompous in class with my work. I wouldn't take your work, because if I get it all correct, you might say it's your work. So
well, I'm just trying to be religious with that point. That's why I wasn't up front. But the fact of the matter is that there is no clear-cut way of determining who a thief is. But what you can do is to study the way people behave, the pattern. There is somebody who comes very early and leaves very late. Maybe the person is working so hard.
Okay.
But when you realize that things are getting missing within some times and all those things, you want to watch out for who that can possibly be. And when you catch one person, you lay the person off.
It's quite interesting. My something had been stolen before some time ago, and I could just picture how the thief emerged from my office. And I'm very convinced he picked it up that day, because something just told me something wasn't right, even though the person has been forever nice. But this happened a few years back somewhere else. Anyway, let's continue with the rest of the talk. Is that to say that actually petty thievery in our lives begin from the classroom, where people decide to cheat?
Well, it begins from everywhere. I heard a story like to become a politician, it starts from the school. And that is when you learn how to lie. Then when you move into the public,
even though not all politicians lie.
Well,
but
I mean, I'm saying what I hear. I'm talking from what I've heard and what I've seen.
Right.
But basically, I mean, what we are saying is that people who steal and have the tendency of stealing, the fact of the matter is that at times appear to be too nice.
Very nice.
That you cannot tell
all is
whether
perfect.
they are capable of doing that.
Right.
And that is why when people get stolen, they get shocked. I mean, when your thing gets missing and you get to know who takes it, and you are like, wow, can this guy do this to me?
Quite interesting.
So the issue is that everybody around you is a suspect unless proven otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, there are just people like that. They don't trust except God. Not even their own parents do they trust. And for such people, I don't know, to an extent is quite okay, because nothing surprises you. You won't get BP, just in case you picked up my RLG away.
Yeah. You know, one aspect of theft that people overlook, I mean, that is a major theft, especially in the US, UK, and lately in South Africa, is data theft. And we easily overlook it. Do you use a photocopier?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know that every document you photocopy on the photocopier, a copy of it remains in the copier?
I have never thought about that.
So that any private document you photocopy, you have a copy of it left on the photocopier, and anybody can access it at any time.
That's quite interesting. Yesterday I was watching Al Jazeera, and a little girl of about, she belonged to the army in Israel, had leaked information, and she was sentenced for 4 years for data theft, I understand. Anyway, so lessons learned this morning, that not all people around you who are nice are really nice. Some of them could be nice, but could really, really stab you so deeply in the back by picking up something that means a whole lot to you. Watch out for them. And in the same vein, or in a different vein, not everybody around you who's nice actually is not nice. They could be genuinely nice as well. And you should be able to tell who to trust and who not to trust. That's just by beefing your psychological bit of life. We'd like to say thank you to you once again for passing through the show. But any final words for us this morning?
Yeah, I mean, there's something just dropped in my mind. It's like I had this friend who says that anytime your wife comes to you laughing and being very nice,
she means mischief.
You want to ask her, how much do you need? So, I mean, it relates everywhere.
Right.
If somebody is being extra nice, I mean, you can tell that some extent is a little bit abnormal.
Yeah.
You just want to stop and ask the person, so what do you want to pick this time? Or
So
what do you need this time around? Anyway, that's just by the way. So the message is that just be careful about everybody around you. Every single person is capable of doing something unless otherwise proven innocent.
Right. Okay.
That's why when there is a case, everybody is taken to the police station, because the angel can be the worst person.
I know, it's quite interesting.
Yes.
I do remember some time ago, something was stolen from me as well. And as soon as I emerged, I said, all of you are suspects. And the one I really suspected wasn't the one who did it. And you won't believe the language I murdered on him. So be careful as well in your suspicious life. And those you have an eye on could just be the innocent ones. Good morning to you once again. I mean, it just gets me thinking about so many other things. And young one. We're moving to another segment. Let's go for the health tidbits today.